but also because there was a sickening stench of rotting meat that filled the air throughout the night. In the morning, she realized the smell came from bodies that were still decomposing in the woods. She could actually see limbs sticking out of the mud piles around her. The first thing you need to know is that this story took place in the trigger of Africa. Yes, people, in the mysterious and wondrous land that is Nigeria. Home of affluence and poverty alike, this is a haven for treachery, prosperity, and pretty much any kind of vice available under the sun. This is also where I grew up. I went to a high school located in a rural area, and it was always a pain going to school. The issue wasn't its location, the issue was getting to its location. There were 3 roads that led to my school, and of the 3, we liked to take the shortest route. And the shortest route had several potholes, which always made for a bumpy ride, and it was also a well-known dangerous route. But we prioritized time over safety, mostly because we had relatives that had used that same path frequently, and we had used that path for over 3 years, so my parents got accustomed to it. Until my mom got abducted, of course. To give you an aggressive perspective of my situation, imagine you schooled at a place like the American school in Switzerland, but together you had to go through the slums of Cowboy Bebop. Before I continue, I would like to say Nigeria is not necessarily a bad place. It has its perks as well as its disadvantages, and the same can be said for pretty much any country in the world. I say this because I don't want some of you to watch this and generalize Nigeria as a terrible place because of my experience. No, Nigeria has beautiful places, cute animals, and wonderful people, as well as mad people, ugly sceneries, and even uglier animals. Our predicament happened because we were at a well-known wrong place at the right time. It was the end of summer vacation, and my mom had just gotten back from Dubai a week before my school's resumption date. And on my resumption date, my mom took me to school with half of the merch she purchased from Dubai. She intended to share it among her siblings, nephews, and nieces, since they all lived in the same state my school was located. So it was like 2 birds with 1 stone. On the resumption date, my mom, my little brother, and my maid along with me set off to my school to drop me off. After I was dropped off, my mom went to deliver the gifts to her relatives. While she was on her way, she was cut off by 2 buses, one in front and one behind. 6 men emerged from both vehicles, and one of them, the boss I would assume, walked up to the car and demanded that my mom, my brother, and my maid get out the car. After my brother and maid got out the car, one of the men got into my mom's car, blindfolded her, and drove into the woods with her and all of the merch she was carrying. Upon arrival at their hideout, she noticed there were 3 other people alongside her that were kidnapped. That night, she couldn't fall asleep, not just because of anxiety, but also because there was a sickening stench of rotting meat that filled the air throughout the night. In the morning, she realized the smell came from bodies that were still decomposing in the woods. She could actually see limbs sticking out of the mud piles around her. Around midday, they called my dad and demanded 90 million naira.
We have your wife. We want 90 million.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will...
Okay, that's not what happened. My dad didn't have nearly that much, so we decided to negotiate and ended up settling around 2 million naira. Crazy, right? I don't know how he did it either. And to put things into perspective, 2 million naira was equivalent to $10,000 at that time. After they came to an agreement, my dad went to the rendezvous to drop off the cash. When he got there, he was approached by one of the kidnappers who proceeded to count the cash before escorting him to go see my mom. My mom and dad came home safely shortly after. My brother and maid also made it back safe on the day that my mother was kidnapped. My maid was fired shortly after my mom came home because she was one of the only people that knew my school's resumption date. Plus, during the kidnapping, the kidnappers referred to my maid as madam while they referred to my mom as woman when they were asking her to get out the car, which is suspicious, to say the least. We reported the case to the police, and a few months later, the culprits were apprehended, not as a result of the investigation of my mom's kidnapping, but as a result of their own foolishness. They sent a letter to the bank telling the bank that they were going to rob the bank. Now, the real question remains, how many people do I need to beat in Mortal Kombat to obtain the sacred level of confidence? Because it's either they were drunk off dopamine from overwhelming success, or they were just extraordinarily dumb. And it's most likely the latter, because they were caught rather easily. After the bank received the letter, every day before the robbery, the police dressed like regular civilians and waited in the building opposite the bank. So once they got into the premises, it was on site. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload a video. And also leave a like and a comment, as this will make the YouTube algorithm push my content to more viewers. Also follow me on all my social media platforms. School's officially in session, so I don't know when I'll be uploading next. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Peace!